here's the one thing, Charlie, and men, that you have to understand. The whole being married for 50 years, you have to put that to rest. All right, that's a fantasy. If you have to define what is a win when you get married. I'll tell you what a win is in real life. I'll tell you what a fucking win is, Charlie. A win is you love a woman, you really love her, and she really loves you. And y'all get married. And y'all go through 2 years of honeymoon bliss, and it is fantastic. After the 2 years and the butterflies are gone, it becomes a real marriage. But y'all still love each other, and y'all are married. Year 3, year 4, year 5 goes along. Year 6 is a little tense. By year 7, y'all are going through some problems, and maybe y'all go to counseling, or maybe you do something else and you fix it. You get it back on track. Year 8 is okay. Year 9 is good. Year 10 is good. Year 11, shit hits the fan. Year 11, shit hits the fan. Y'all divorce, and it's terrible. It's a terrible fucking year. I call that a win. I call it, to me, if you had a prenup, that's a fucking win.
You're stepping in, because some people, when you say, oh, my husband and I are going our separate ways, they go, oh no, oh, that's sad. But you actually see this as
a celebration.
A celebration.
I really do. I look at it as, one of my friends, she sent this beautiful letter to me from a woman who got a divorce. And it's all about, this perspective, in my opinion, and just changing the narrative. My marriage was a success.
Yeah.
I look at it as like a curriculum when you're in college or high school, right? You're learning, you're growing, you're evolving, you're creating. And I was able to create with Corey some beautiful, amazing children. Yeah. And at the end of that curriculum, and at the end, there's a graduation, there's a celebration. So that's basically, how I'm looking at it now. And I feel like people when they look at marriage, that success equals longevity. But no, at the end of the day, it's, are they happy? Are they thriving? Are they growing? And I feel like that is what is most important. It's not about staying in something because however long you are in that situation, that equals success. It's about really, again, are you happy? Because life is really short.
Yeah, take a blank.
Hey, my more brothers, back again. And the two clips that you just heard, one is from talking about her former marriage to her husband after 14 years. And that she said she graduated from her marriage. And she said even though they separated for the most part, her marriage was a wonderful experience. And she didn't have anything to say bad about her marriage. She just said she outgrew it. And the second clip is something that I played from earlier this year. And this is the lead attorney talking about what is a win in a marriage. And he said if you get 10 good years out of a marriage, then that's a win if you protected yourself and you don't have any lingering effects like alimony and stuff like that. You count it as a win, which echoes exactly what she said. And I don't think she's been listening to the lead attorney, but that's exactly what he said. She said they both have said the same thing. If you want to see what the lead attorney said, you can go back and listen to it. It's actually one of the most cogent and most thoughtful descriptions or basically rambles on marriage that I've heard in quite some time. And people thought that he was basically bullshitting, but he was actually accurate more than people actually know. And this confirms what he said. It confirms his words and his ideas. And a lot of people thought he was nuts. It's like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. A marriage is this, and if it doesn't last 40, 50 years, then it's not a win. And I think a lot of people are comparing what I call marriage 2.0, where it's a marriage of partners rather than a marriage of husband and wives. I've been saying quite a bit, man, especially the last 3-4 years, that America does not make wives anymore. And I'm starting to hear it echoed around the net. So I guess what we do here is starting to have resonance out in the wider and broader society, which is a good thing, which is what the passport bros are saying. They have to go someplace where they actually make wives, where the tradition is still 1.0, where the tradition is still meaningful, where the tradition of marriage and the sanctity of marriage and institution of marriage still holds some kind of force, still holds some kind of importance. Recently, I was on with The Breakdown, Concrete Rose and Sister George. We were actually talking about marriage. We were talking about the difference between the marriage of partners versus the marriage of husband and wives. I should say the marriage of partners versus the marriage of roles. Husband and wives are roles. They're roles in an institution. They're parts to play to make a whole. You know, Dr. Thunder who's a devout Christian, was laughing at monogamy. Because he said, the term monogamy used to mean that you had one partner for life, till death do us part. There was no such thing as serial monogamy as women, especially black women, like to practice. Now, before all you women get your panties in a bunch, there was an author, a black female author, taught about black women, black love, Diane Stewart, that said exactly the same thing. Black women do not want to practice polyandry or having more than one husband at a time. They want to have a series of husbands until they can find happiness. So what marriage used to mean, and maybe it's because we're living longer, doesn't mean the same thing anymore. Maybe the environment, with women working more, people living longer, the environment doesn't suit the old standardized idea of marriage anymore. Maybe it is a series of people that you marry or hook up with, and then you leave and find a new one, a new partner. Either you're too old or you're too tired to do it again. But I thought it quite fascinating when I heard Tia Mowry say almost the same thing as the lead attorney. Almost the same thing. When she doesn't think that her marriage was not a success. It's the environment that we live in, and sometimes we're trying to mix the two, right? You can't grow wheat in a muddy field, right? That's where you grow rice. That's where you go sugarcane. We don't grow wheat in a muddy field. Wheat rots in a muddy field. And vice versa, you can't grow rice where you grow wheat. Not enough water. So marriage 1.0 doesn't quite mix with a 2.0 environment. I guess it doesn't. And it's mostly the women that have changed. The men, from what I noticed, haven't really changed that much. They've adjusted to the environment, but they haven't changed that much. Women have changed. Women want different things out of marriage. Women want to be different things in marriage. No, they don't want to do the cooking and cleaning. In fact, they don't cook or clean. They want to know if you do. And if you listen to feminist language, well, not even people that call themselves feminists anymore. Modern women, as the late, great Kevin Samuels used to say, they want a partner. And I don't think I've heard anybody under the age of 50 talk about looking for a husband or a wife. It's always a partner, especially our modern women. So I thought that was interesting. Didn't mean to hold you guys this long. I didn't want to make a 20-minute video over a couple of clips. So hopefully you find this interesting and useful. It's just one more shekel to throw onto the pile. Anyway, you know how what that's a denarii. What shekels is just for an hour's work. A denarii is what you get for a day's work. So I haven't quite done a day's work. So it's a couple shekels. Anyhow, With that, I'm going to jump off here. This is Beat Just Out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.